Hello everyone, and welcome back to this series on creating an IDEAScript dialog. In the previous video, I remembered that I had forgotten to show you something that I wanted to do when we implemented accessing the file browser and grabbing the file name. So what I want to do is what happens if I have a file open. So if I have IDEA and I have a file already open, generally the assumption, if you use any of the other functionality with an IDEA like summarization, it's always performed on the current IDEA file. So I always think it's nice to make that assumption also for the IDEA script. So if you already have a file open, you don't have to go in, actually open up the file, select that file again. And I'm going to show you in this video how to do this. So all this is done is in the back end, so we don't have to make any changes to the dialog. And I'm just going to save this as part 5. And what I want to do is I want to add some code in the menu. So when I access the dialog, I want to go check to see if there's a file already open. And how I do this is if I go into the language browser is great. If you're not using it, you should be. So there's actually, if you go into client, and you should actually go look at this because knowing what's in here will help you create your scripts. And there's one function called current database. Client current database gets the currently active database. So here we got client current database name. So I'm just going to grab that because I'll use that. And here, so whenever I call a menu, I'll say s file name is equal to client current database name. So we'll go grab that information and put it in the variable. Now, if I go do this, I'm just going to run this. And here we got, so it says detailed sales previous year, because it knows that what the variable contains, and I've already created the code to display the file name, but I'm lacking the drop down. So I'd want to create the drop down when I go in and start that. And how I do that is easy enough. I've already created the code. I'll just go back into IDEAScript, and I'm going to just grab this code here, and I'm going to put it in for case 1. So I'll just realign that, and I do that by using the Shift tab. So what I do is when the dialog is opened up, when it's created, I check to see if a file's been selected. If it has, then I call the get numeric field, and we go down and we get then we attach the list box. Now this is still open, so let's try running this again. And there, we've got the drop down. So I'm just going to get out of this. Now I'm just going to show you. So okay, so now this is closed. There's no file closed because the reason it's closed is because we added on the code here, db.close, so that after we get the list of fields, we close that file. So you may or may not want to have that there. It's up to you. I'm going to leave it in for now. So right now, well, I've got the code, but let's see what happens if there's no file to be associated with. So let's go run this again. Gives me an error on line 17, unable to find an active database. So we don't want that because we're never sure whether or not the current database will be open. And how we get around that problem is I'll insert a line saying on error, resume next. So that means is if it comes across an error, it'll just skip that error and keep on plugging it away. So if this line here gives an error, it's just going to ignore the error, which is fine. The file name will stay blank, and we'll just have to go get that file from the actual dialog. So now we'll go look again. We've got no file open. So if I go run this, notice please select the file. What I want, no error, and if I had something open, it would be open there. So this is a short little video just to add on to something else that I should have added on to a previous video, but it's nice to put in a separate subject because it does have some additional explanation. So anyways, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you in the next video.